So,
We'll start the recording. Oh, shoot, I'm not.
so Fran, you got to meet Demi.
Yes, yes, that was fun.
What a great concert.
It was a wonderful concert.
4 of them were Juilliard
Yeah,
students.
yeah, no, that was.
Including the boy and the brother and sister.
Yes, and they were so sweet.
I mean, it was probably the best.
What concert
Okay.
was this, the New Year's?
The New Year's, yeah.
It
I was out of
amazing.
town, but.
Amazing.
Yeah, I always, it's always amazing. I've been once
No,
before
this
over the
was
years.
because also the venue was amazing too.
Mhm.
Instead of the church, you got the acoustics, you have them there, the whole thing was like.
Yeah,
And there were 4 from Juilliard who were, which was the solo violinist. He's in the master program. He was like,
And his instrument,
yeah, amazing.
what was the year, 1765,
Yes,
1787 Stradivarius.
amazing.
wow.
And he was just, I mean, I've never seen a program like that.
Yeah, no, that was
It
fabulous.
was really good.
One of my neighbors in Warren is one of the few people in the world who restores Stradivarius violins.
Okay.
So not quite yet.
All this, yeah.
Part all this stuff that's non-alcoholic, but this beautiful bottle is
Oh,
yeah,
look,
Sharon brought
this is
one.
the best
Yeah, really.
council ever.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Finally.
Find a seat. Oh, there's some minutes and agendas there. I might not have printed enough.
Is this water or wine?
Yeah. No,
Hard
that's,
to tell.
but budget stuff, which I printed, I didn't know. Come on.
I know, it's like cute.
This one here? Yeah, that stuff.
Thank
That-
you.
Maybe, is that the agenda? Yeah.
Excuse me, I need to go.
You know, I was thinking of you about the fire in California because we have gone through that. I remember Dr. Robert Hutchins, the president of the Center for the Study of the Democratic Institution, his house burned down. And we were watching the house on the hills of Montecito, and he's so very philosophical. He lost all his.
That's non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm trying to do a damp
Family
January.
in Ojai
Oh, I
today.
like that,
Yes.
damp,
And
not
the
dry,
power,
just
they
damp.
shut the
Was that
power
weekends only?
In all these
Or like
towns,
circumvent or something.
Ish.
sort of
Yeah.
surrounding the fire.
Ooh, it's bubbling.
You know,
Ojai.
that's far away.
And I think in Santa Barbara, there's no power because they don't
Is that
want,
what's happening now? Yeah.
they're, in case they're.
Karen, is your phone singing?
Oh.
I just thought you might want to know.
These again.
I have a friend who lives in Pacific Palisades. I used to go to parties there and I'm not
Been a
able to
very
get in
busy
touch with
person.
them.
You know me too.
He has been there for
well.
about 15 years.
I'll go
In
get
the same house.
that downstairs.
I could
Tracy just went
imagine.
in there
Still on
probably.
break.
Losing everything.
Can
No.
talk to her and ask her to bring,
No, the students.
and then we'll
are
get
back.
started.
Tracy is on break.
I
Oh,
just,
okay.
No, we're back.
Okay, okay.
so sad.
And I
And,
know you know this, how many does the auditorium at FGS seat?
420,
420, yeah, okay.
technically 420, yep. So. We have a wheelchair accessible to
Yeah,
some elevators.
it's the largest, that's larger than Chapag, right? Isn't Chapag in the 300s?
It might be.
I can't remember.
I don't know. That's a wide space.
It's really wide.
Really wide space.
The auditorium?
Yeah, and at Chapag, but those, not,
No, but it's not, you can't compare it.
yeah, Gun's pretty
Oh, we
nice.
just talked
It's a-
about numbers.
yeah.
Numbers of
Yeah,
people.
I was just, I was
No,
in a
but numbers, number of
meeting.
people.
How many people can stand? Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah, it was a pricey building.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful and it's
It's
state of the art.
I know, it is.
The
awesome.
And I think it might have the largest capacity of anything in town.
The concert was sold out.
Did
anyone
anyone
go
go
to
to
the
Friends,
FTC?
the Washington Friends
But
music?
people-
That's what he saw at the
Oh.
New Year's. They said it was fabulous.
I
I'm,
heard
I'm,
about it.
I'm
And it's
sorry I missed it.
Packed, I think, too.
Yeah,
I think.
it
know
should be,
Friends-
because they always do a beautiful
I
job.
know, it's great.
Okay. I think we should go ahead and get started because it's 6:10 already and we have things to do.
And they'll be at the door at 7, let's not forget. The next meeting.
Who's the next meeting?
I don't know, the last time we were here, they were waiting outside the door for us
No,
to.
I don't think anyone's on for tonight,
Oh, okay. Good.
but I'm glad you mentioned that because we do need to talk about our meeting schedule. Why don't we go ahead and approve the minutes and then just quick talk about the meeting schedule before we head into the rest of the business. So does everyone have a copy? I think, I'm pretty sure I shared them, I emailed them out. Please let me know if you have any corrections or comments or if we're ready to approve.
I move that we accept the minutes as read.
Second,
Thank you. Second. Any comments, corrections? All in favor? Right. Great, so really quickly, it was brought to my attention that we have a conflict with our meeting schedule. When I was comparing all the dates, the other commissions, they didn't have all their meetings in. And the Board of Selectmen is an every other Thursday. So and they're at 5:30. So some months we're fine and some months they're like, oh, it's a little close, even though they're often done by 6. So I didn't know, I know we moved to 6 because somebody was doing a class or was it?
This is just so much better for everybody.
I know,
Yeah.
I know,
We
well,
could do it, maybe the Ideas Depot, if, you know, if it's a problem with the selectmen, or could we do it in your
well,
office?
I mean, we could even go upstairs. You know what, that's not a bad idea, because if they're done, we'll just stay here.
Yeah,
And if they're not, we can go upstairs and leave it at 6. I was gonna say, what about 6:30, but
it's just so much better.
yeah, okay.
Cause like Simon has a long commute, you come from the office, you go home and come back. Yeah, so it's just so much better.
Okay, so let's leave it as is,
Yeah,
and
we just know to
if
come
they're,
here.
yeah, they're
Or
often
Zoom,
finished by
yeah.
6, and if they're not, we'll just go upstairs, not a big deal,
Yeah,
right?
we just bring the owl with us, cause that,
No, they'll be using it,
oh,
but, oh, and we're on the same Zoom account. Ooh, ooh, ooh. She's here.
Sorry. Saw her rounding up the kiddos for the ski.
What a different.
I'll
night
figure
makes any
something
you
out.
just do it off your computer.
Yeah, no, it's the Zoom account, but we have we own another one, so I could just quick set it up, but it wouldn't be the published one.
Very good.
Hello, hello.
Thank you, Sue.
Somebody asked.
Okay.
I'm sure she
Leave
got
it
another
for
bag.
now.
got
I
that.
think it's good to make this a
Fine.
central
One,
location.
2, 3,
That's
4,
right.
5,
Yeah,
6, 7, 8, yeah, it's like
Exactly.
7 of the 12.
Seven
But,
of the 12 will be a problem.
well, they're on the same day. It just never happened, or we were at 7, so it just never had happened before, because we've always been third Thursday. But it just, because
So
we're
what-
every other,
What would happen if we change the day?
Tracy?
if we
Or change the
what?
day of the week.
Oh,
Oh.
disaster.
His schedule's crazy.
What about,
Ignore me
is
completely.
No, it's
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Is
Just do what-
Tuesday- is Tuesday workable for you?
I'll tell you now, I'm leaving the Art Association at the end of this month,
Oh,
so it doesn't matter when you have your meeting. Don't work it around me, okay? I'll just throw that in, just as a little aside.
wait a
I
minute.
was gonna wait until the end of the. Sorry. Well, we have to start it, well, maybe,
Yes, we did. 12 minutes.
sorry.
So let's resume this afternoon. So sad,
So you needn't work it around me, that's my
Okay.
point,
okay.
just ignore me.
But like, look at, we're all here, it's clearly a good time, so,
would Tuesday at 6 solve the problem? Of the conflict?
I have a meeting second Tuesdays. Third Tuesday, I don't know, the calendar's kinda tight, we could look at it,
Tuesday would be fine for me. But if you've got,
third Tuesday maybe.
Let's keep it on Thursdays.
Let's see how that works.
Yeah, it seems like we can do Thursdays and we're all in our little routine and we can just go upstairs.
We'll just go upstairs.
I
I'll
think
figure out the
that
Zoom.
sounds
I'll
good.
get another account, or I'll just switch all the meetings over to the other account so that it's just ready to go.
Okay,
So, okay, so I will,
is that a big pain in the neck for you, Michelle?
no, a few buttons, I'm pretty sure land use will let me use their account and we'll just do that. Okay, perfect.
Hmm?
Thank you. That was a little housekeeping.
Decision or something.
I also usually, if you're gonna add something to the agenda, you do it at the beginning, and under old business, I'd like to add restaurant week. I meant it was supposed to be there and,
Okay.
it wasn't, and just to update and talk about that. So, but let's go back to the new business, just, I guess, a wrap up of the Holiday in the Depot, real quick, because we met right before.
The night before.
Doesn't it seem like it was so long ago?
I so glad you sent one of those
Right.
pictures, I made that our commission.
I saw that.
Okay, good.
I saw that, that was great, and I hopefully everybody saw, oh, I think I actually printed it. If
I
you
only
didn't
submitted
see-
3 because I just didn't want to take up.
Yeah, so I put in a notice in the selectmen's email, I just printed a copy, hopefully you all saw it, but congratulating the winners,
Oh, good.
so.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
another opportunity, Arts Council logo
Yes.
out there, right? Yeah, and so, I
Thank you.
mean, yeah,
That looks
take a
like
look at
an
that.
Italian villa.
So I'll just tell you a few
It's a
things.
tasty one.
That I've heard, actually, even since I sent the email. I was talking to, who was I talking to? Somebody, maybe it was Liz. Kind of reflecting on, the, Holiday in the Depot in general, and they felt that the numbers were a little bit down, it was so cold. But the pantry, it was hopping, like more than they've ever had, so that was really exciting. And I think, what is great, like we've got something to build on, because so many people were not only excited to participate in the voting, they thought that was fun, but wanted to bring a gingerbread house, next year,
Mm.
once they kind of sussed it out and saw what it was. But also another thing I really liked about it is because it was so cold and you could be inside of the pantry. I think it was one of the few things out there that was participatory that wasn't purchasing,
Mm.
right? Like,
That's nice.
because everybody else, like, there were things at the businesses and there were nonprofits and booths and wonderful, beautiful things, but when you're, wrangling kids, you probably aren't carrying tons of bags, so it was nice.
We were completely slammed,
Oh,
more than
great.
we've ever had.
Oh, well,
It
that's
was
wonderful.
packed out,
Well,
start to finish,
It was cold, yeah.
And the Ideas Depot was packed.
packed.
It was.
Yeah, and
So-
we had.
We were packed.
Yeah.
I was surprised to hear that there was a feeling that there were fewer people. I thought there were
that's
many more than we can ever
the
see.
lines at Santa or the food. I don't know who thought that, but I think what probably happened is it felt like less.
Because everyone was inside,
Jammed inside,
Yeah.
yeah, because it was so cold.
it was packed out.
So, anyway, great event.
It was a great event.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years
2
ago,
years ago,
it was
it was really
really cold too,
Yeah.
and it was
Please.
really well attended.
I mean,
So,
compared to
yeah.
tonight, it was balmy, wasn't it?
I know.
Even if there's no wind, right?
Yeah, wind,
Winds.
yeah.
My only suggestion is that if we can commit some organization or people to doing a gingerbread house, so that we know more or less how many people are going to be delivering.
Well, I've already secured a handful because apparently the Frederick Gunn School's freshman class always makes them. So I've convinced them to bring me the top 5.
I
Oh,
think,
that's
I think
good.
there might be something worthwhile putting on a calendar in October or November to reach out and remind folks that it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I
okay.
bet you other school, like WMS, might be like, oh, well, let's,
Yeah, or
let's-
one
we've got a
class might. I
class
mean,
that
we don't-
wants to do this, or,
Well, now, we made a nice graphic. I think it's good, actually, just branding, just recycle it for next year.
Yeah,
and just let them know this is gonna happen.
I had a few people
Yes.
who were super excited
Yeah.
to participate again. So.
I mean, I know Chapala High School has classes that probably fit this very well with their cooking, their cooking class.
Yeah, but I don't know that we want hundreds, but yes, like if,
Expand to the Ideas Depot next year.
Actually,
You can have multiple places.
Michelle, you can limit it. You can make a number and say, we, the first 20 or the first 15.
Right?
We will
So many
accept.
places it could be in town. I think it's like, if we have that as a problem, that's a good problem.
That's a great problem. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. And even when schools commit, that it doesn't always happen.
We register?
But I think like even with the 6 that we had, it was still pretty fun. Like it still worked. So even with a handful more, having 10 to 15 would be plenty.
Michael has a hidden talent.
Yes,
Little did we know.
right.
I wonder
Is he
what
the one
he's
that
cooking
created?
up for next year.
Whoa.
That was amazing. That was.
Who's town hall?
He did the whole town hall.
To scale.
It's amazing.
Engineering feat,
Yeah.
seriously.
That was.
And I love Colobus's.
And that was super fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very
It's fun to destroy it too.
It was fun. Globalist did win both the creative and the unique categories. So no,
Well, she
no
had all the
surprise
guys-
there.
We felt very good about those selections, I'll tell you.
Now you
Felt
turn
up our
on.
alley.
Yeah, she's like. That's great. No, it was perfect. It was perfect. It was a little bit of this and a little bit of that. What I love is the one, the ones that the kids did, the one that got the most votes was the one that was done by this little like 3-year-old. And it was because she used all these candy animals, and every kid that came through and voted thought that was the best. It was so cute. I loved it. I loved it. So something for everyone. So fun. We did not hand out all the flashlights.
Oh, we
We
had
have some?
250 of them, right? Phil?
We had 250 and maybe half of them,
Oh, really?
maybe, because we
Well, I
gave them
bragged
to
about it in
everyone.
our announcement.
I know, it's okay. I saw that, but I was like, oh, it's all right.
We can use them
but
for
we
another
can-
thing.
Yeah, we'll use them again. We can order more if we like.
Well,
We
then you
offered
would
them
be-
to everybody who came through for the voting, which is around 100, and a few people said, oh, I already have one, not every, and a few took, ooh, I want one for my grandchild, so.
So Kirsten's son.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because Kirsten
It was
took him
amazing.
at the meeting, I don't know if you remember,
Yeah,
gave him and rescued Kate Zimmerman, who's conducting the chorus group, with the flashlight.
that's right. I heard.
She started up and she was like, I can't see the music. And he was like, well, bam, you can get yours at the pantry.
That's great, which is maybe part of why so many people found their way down there.
Yeah.
So I think it was great, a good tradition. We'll just build on it, and it's nice to spread the people out, right? So that the plaza's not the only thing that's packed. So great. Unless anybody else has anything, I just thought we should recap quick. Cool. All right,
The last thing I just want to say
yeah.
and emphasize, and I don't know, because I know you talked to Jen Cody. I think it's really, really important to have these indoor things. Like, I know and if next year there can be in here, I think that'd be really awesome.
What are you talking about?
That, the pantry, that there are places, your place, people to go. And I really think it's weird that we don't have town hall. open.
I don't think you're gonna, I think Jen is very firm. That, and I don't know whether it's the board of selectmen, but, I think it's highly unlikely.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, of course, if it's a security thing, it's a security thing, but if they can work it out, I think it'd be nice, and I think it would make it all the more popular, that's all. And-
Yeah, no,
And
I
given
know.
how cold it was, clearly the indoor spaces were really popular, so.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah, I hear you. And I agree. I don't know exactly what the challenge behind it is, but I think there is one. So, all right. Ready to move on? Sure. Okay. So budget, believe it or not, we're only halfway through the year, but we gotta present for budget for next year. I did bring copies of where we stand so far for this year, so you can pass that around. And then I brought some copies of my printer was just funky of the letter that we did for last year's meeting. So I don't need a copy because I vaguely remember. So I don't want to jade the conversation. I want you all to talk first.
Okay.
Was the 7,000 easy to get? With the 7,000 that we asked for,
It was 7,000 that we asked for.
easy?
Um,
Any pushback?
Not at the time.
really, couple of questions.
I mean, that was 100% asked.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
my question is, where are we going to spend the rest remaining? We have a really good chunk left
I know,
over.
I know.
And that goes until June 30th, is that right?
Yes, we
Okay.
have until June
So
30th.
we'll use it on the block party and restaurant week.
Yep, we have restaurant week and the block party. Actually, I don't even think restaurant week is not in there. We approved it, but it wasn't expended, so I haven't put that in there.
Yep. But still leaves us a really
Oh, yeah,
sizable
no,
amount.
there's still a fair amount.
Look at
in there.
cultural district, I mean, in terms of, I mean, is it likely that that will be
You know, if
presented
we
this
get-
spring
if we
and
get
materials
moving
for
on-
that?
If we get moving on the cultural district, I would expect there to be like some printing costs for the map or a brochure or
Because you
pamphlet.
would want to do that, a good job with that in
Yeah.
terms of the presentation. piece.
True, and actually there's
Graphic
probably
designer.
enough money in there to maybe get some help with design or layout or something, if we're gonna do like a real map. The map that you need for the application does not need to be fancier than what I'm putting together. But if we wanna print them, we might want a graphic designer that's doing something a little fancier than what I'm doing. So that's a good idea. If you want my 2 cents,
Hmm,
I feel like it's been a great budget, and if we don't ask for an increase, it would be appreciated and it would probably not be challenged. You know, and what's always frustrating is when you go into these and they're like, well, you haven't even spent half of it yet, and you're like, yeah, but we
We're
have
going
these
to, yeah.
plans and, we have some things coming.
So can we actually include this and actually include a number for the plan, for the upcoming things? To show a sort of projected near to
That's
zero.
a great idea.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's
it's gonna
smart.
be, we're gonna max it out between the artists on whatever we're doing
Yeah.
for the block party and restaurant week, which is now significantly increased.
So they can just see that this is what we intend to spend.
And I think we should do more printing related to promoting restaurant week this year, that we know.
Yeah,
Signage, did we do signage last year?
We, he provides the signs, the lawn signs, but I mean like just like postcards and maybe, I don't know, maybe we don't do a town postcard, but we
Can
can
we do a
have.
banner or something?
Ooh.
We can spend some money that way.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think that actually having a banner like Hudson, New York has like, you know, one avenue in, and they always had a seasonal banner of like whatever was going on or whatever festival was coming up. And you really know when it was happening.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like said to me, like, oh, restaurant week's a cool idea, but I didn't know it was happening.
I mean, we were very lucky in one of our summer events at the town, allowed us to put a banner across the,
So the new policy
Front of town hall.
about the banners on town hall is that only things happening here can go there.
here in town hall. Oh,
So it's,
what about the bridge over the brook? As you go up,
Right by the North
oh,
Sunshine.
on the
Yeah.
railing.
yeah,
Oh, that is
That would be kinda
interesting.
good.
It's a DOT,
Oh, when you come
it's a
into-
state road.
109 and that.
well, no, I was thinking actually,
Right next to Sunshine Center.
next door to the
Yeah.
Sunshine
And
Centre.
then you-
Oh,
churches,
yes, yes.
You know, before you
Oh,
go
I
to
see
the
what
hill.
you mean,
Yeah.
yes.
On the bridge there, because people.
So are you,
often look at that.
just Michelle
Mhm.
clarified that even though many of the restaurants are in Washington, the fact that several of them would be outside of Washington, that we couldn't put up a banner?
No, it's in the town hall itself, I think she meant.
No,
Yeah, no, for a banner to go on town hall, the event needs to be in town hall.
Has to be in town halls. Okay.
It's the new.
Yeah, I get that.
Is the new thing. It just.
Yeah.
everybody was asking for banners and it was,
Yeah.
there was like a banner a week.
And
And
if
they
we could
just
put it
kinda-
on the side of our building, we've got that outdoor mural.
Yeah, well, so I was gonna say, any of the restaurants could, but none of them are super front facing and Marty, there's
Well,
only a
there at the
couple
back of the
windows.
depot there.
Yeah.
I mean, I
so-
could okay it now. I mean, I won't be here to hear the heat. So I could just say, yeah, sure, put it up.
We'll talk about that. Visibility though, I don't know if DOT would approve the bridge and I'm just thinking,
Special sandwich board printing, like the sandwich board you have for, right by the post office.
yes, we can definitely,
another
we
one,
can definitely
maybe.
We
do
can do one
that.
outside the Norman Sunshine Centre, put a, one, or even a lawn sign.
What about outside, a decent sized banner could also probably, Robin at the church would probably be okay with putting something there. That's a good traffic spot.
That's
It's a great one, it's a great
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it at council, we've sort of people started putting signs without asking, but if you ask.
Yeah.
They would be amenable to that, so, yeah, those are some great ideas, although that's all about restaurant week, although those are things that we can put in
We're thinking about
for the
spending
budget,
money.
yes. Right, but new projected expenses.
Yeah.
Right, and between the cultural district printing and additional
We're pretty good.
promotion of restaurant week, I think,
And then the artists, whatever it's gonna be,
whatever we're gonna do for
is
the,
usually around a
block
thousand,
party.
and that's what we said.
yeah, I mean, we haven't spent that much yet, but we could try to do a little bit more since we have it, right? Because we didn't have a musician or anything for the,
We did, we had an artist last time, we had,
for Holiday in the Depot.
no, we also had one for the block party, we had the Afghan calligrapher.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, we didn't hire a musician or anything,
Oh,
like
for
the
Holiday in the
expense, like we
Depot.
didn't
Yes, yes, yes.
spend, $1,000 on any event we've done yet, but, we were closest with the Harvest Fest.
We spent like 500 on the, flashlights, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 643.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's a great number. I think it's a great number. It gives us, the ability. So I think the budget is a good number and I think we can defend it. I think it
Yeah.
would be probably hard to ask for more.
At this point.
Well, we
don't
need
have
to-
the use for more.
Well,
Right. So I would suggest,
So if we ask for 7,000, do we need to, again, itemize how we're going to spend it, like you did last year?
I think so. I think we
Yeah.
would update that letter to
Yeah.
just sort of reflect on what we've done this year, and what we expect to do next year.
Sure, great.
And I think philosophically, you can make the point that it's always nice to have a little in your kitty in case another idea emerges, that
Right.
sometimes
A
we don't
contingency.
know everything that we want to do
Mhm.
through the year, and if we have zero, then we really can't.
I did
splash
also have
out.
and to your point, I mean, I don't know if this is good timing or whatever, but just wanted to mention this, because it would fall within this calendar financial year. Is that I was thinking it'd be very cool to have. NaNoWriMo is a national write a novel in a month thing. It's kind of become this nationwide phenomenon in the month of November. I was thinking that our mud season like extends basically through April, as we know, with the restaurant week. And I was thinking of having a virtual, like, stay in for the weekend and have a creative project focus, kind of like NaNoWriMo, which is open a whole month, but like one weekend. And feature people, like NaNoWriMo, they have virtual people speaking like for 5 minutes, kind of like little mini inspirational TED Talk, etc. And I was thinking that those from Northwestern Connecticut could come, I could use my space, or it could be multiple spaces in town, and that could happen, I was thinking the last weekend of April, because the third weekend of April this year is Easter. So what I'm getting at is, like, to produce that will cost some money, and I'm happy to do it solo, but if other people like that idea and it was an opportunity, like, I'm thinking every hour there's a 5-minute talk from Connecticut Theater Exchange, or, whoever wants to, this is, Fran talking about great things, everybody has the opportunity to have their little inspirational moment, and it can be like a whole program. And my thought, if I do end up doing it by myself, is that I'll have like a little kickoff thing on the Friday night here in town, and then everybody works virtually over the weekend. I've got Susie's team that I can lean on to produce and like broadcast from there, or people can do it from home. We can just figure that out. And then have like a little reading at my space or a little show and tell of what people produced over that weekend. So that was another thing that might be something of interest to us, and that could be something, and we don't have to decide tonight. I haven't done an organized proposal. I didn't really focus on this being on the agenda tonight. I apologize, but there would be, all I'd say is there'd be like a nominal fee for some kind of tech support for that, which might be, I don't know, I would say probably $250, maybe 500 max. That would that I would need to produce that.
I think there's room in this year's budget, so once you have it figured out, if
Okay.
the Arts Council chooses to co-sponsor that, because it's open to artists of all kinds, that there's room for that.
Okay,
And
well,
that's,
I'll have a better proposal. by
yeah, so
February.
as it gets closer, I would bring it back to the council, but based on where we are for this year, it seems plausible
Yep.
that we would be able to do that, and to Karen, to your point, there's some wiggle room in here for things that we
Come
didn't
up with.
plan.
I mean, and.
We don't, one thing that we need to be careful of, and I know just from having sat in these budget meetings, and just so you all understand, we don't want to ask for like double of what we think we'll need, because the town then has to tax the taxpayers for that up front. And if we don't spend it, we've taken too much tax dollars, and then it goes into like the rainy day fund. We don't get to carry it to the next year. Sometimes they will apply that towards the next year, so they don't need to tax at that rate. But it's just one of those things, like, you don't want to pad your budget excessively, because you're overtaxing the residents. You know, you want to leave yourself a little room for unexpected things, but you need to be able to explain kind of where that is.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think we did a great job with last year's. So. Does everybody agree?
I think that the banner idea, not only for this event, but for the future, that would be like our identity. Anytime that we're involved in anything, we can use the same banners. So we can do the banners with the same
Yeah,
colors,
the logo, yeah.
logo, so we get better known in the community as we go along.
Agreed.
You know, nothing succeeds like excess.
Well, and I feel like we're definitely getting the logo out there, and anytime we can use it, yeah, I think it's great.
So it'd be something, not a one-shot deal, but for perpetuity too.
I think the trickiest thing about the banner, I think it's a great idea, and it's new, it's different, so it will catch people's attention. The hardest part is figuring out where to put it,
How about,
and getting permission, finding that spot, but.
is a flag better instead of a banner?
Lawn sign.
Well, lawn signs of those are done, I think the sandwich boards are good because they're a little
Yeah.
bit bigger and you can move it, around, so that is great. Banners are good, you just need to find a good spot to put them.
There's a flagpole right in front of my space. Is that run by the post office? It's the American flag and half mast right now, I presume for charter, and then there's a prisoner of war flag.
I don't know, oh, you mean the one in front of Legion Hall or in
No,
front of your
Right
building?
in front of the Ideas Depot.
Oh, I don't know, ask your landlord. I mean, your building is tricky because it's 3 different owners,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right, it's co-op, it's like a condo or however, whatever. So,
I was thinking we could have a flag there. is what-
yeah.
It's a very tall flagpole, and they already have 2 flags, we could have 3 flags.
I think there are
don't
rules
know
about-
that you could put. I mean, if you've got the American flag there, I mean, I don't know what.
You can't run an event
I
flag
don't
on that,
think
there's
you can
rules.
put that flag.
Now there's some.
There's
All,
rules.
what about this though? All of the light poles in town have like, what do you wanna call it? Like a bracket.
Those are for planters.
Yeah,
Oh, those
for the
are
hanging,
planters? They
yeah,
don't
for the
are
hanging.
for
thing.
hanging signs ever?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't think so.
No, but
Like New Milford on their
yeah,
town
they've got.
green, they have, like high school seniors and.
Yeah, they
have all
honor the
sorts of changing-
graduates, yeah. I know, and we haven't used those yet, like, our town hasn't, so that's an interesting thought, maybe there are.
Seasonal.
So,
banners.
you know, some a pole in a place or two, it would be for an event. And we would have to get permission, but it, you know, it's worth thinking
Okay.
about asking, finding a spot. Seeing, you know, and then seeing if we could get permission.
And particularly in the non-plant seasons.
Right.
Yeah, right, no, nobody would wanna see a banner hanging on, you know, competing with the flowers, but there might be some poles that don't have those.
But to Fran's point, there are like 4 months, at least a year where we don't
Yeah.
have planters, so.
Yeah,
At least 6.
Oh, really? Okay, 6.
If you think
Maybe.
about it.
well, in April, they might not have planted the pots
Needs
yet.
to be
so-
beautified.
That's an interesting, We're-
Maybe,
it's
maybe
worth
that
trying.
becomes one of our programs, is like the 6 months of the year when they're, who pays for the flowers? Town?
No.
the garden club and the WBA,
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
nice.
think the garden club plants them and the WBA waters.
Well, if the
Is that right?
WBA is doing that, maybe it's appropriate for the off-season is done by us.
You can do the little flags that you put like this.
By the Washington Arts Council, that we
I
do,
know,
you
And
know,
you put them, you know.
I'm on the banner website on the state. God, it's awful. It's going down roads. But it looks to me as though the application would come here to the town, not the state. If you to do it on the
On the
bridge.
bridge.
Yeah. It seems to be run by towns as opposed to by the state. And
Interesting, I
any
would be
permitting.
told anything that, because it's a state road, so it's like an encroachment permit, anything you put on a state road, you need their permission or they might take it. It's their bridge, but I can ask,
Hmm.
cause I don't think I've ever seen anybody put one on there,
Hmm.
right? I don't know,
Mm.
I mean. the
Yes,
thing is-
exactly.
And I get it, you know, I'm happy to bring it to the selectmen or to ask.
Yeah, to see.
They might be nervous about opening sort of a can of worms of like, then the next thing, you know, we have a banner there every week. Advertising something, you know, which is why they stopped with, you weren't here, but we used to have. Signs in the depot leaning up against the brick wall and it got a little crazy.
Oh my
Right,
God,
do you remember?
Oh, my-
I mean, it was one way to know what was happening in town, but right, they were like
Yeah.
piled up and it got a little crazy, so. Well, I will ask, yeah, I think it's worth asking about. Those
And
are
also
great
if
ideas.
there's a place, rather than when you get to the town, but on the way into town. There should be
Yeah,
a
well,
place.
out 202,
Right.
47, those entry
Right.
points, yeah, are good.
Is Judy Black, will they allow us to have a banner?
No, they don't even allow themselves to have a banner, they have very strict, bylaws
I
or
put one
covenants.
and they went crazy. Remember, I covered the whole roof. Summer solstice, you could see from the moon. And I got a call immediately. Okay, we allow this time, but you're never doing that again.
Would the
Yeah.
ambulance association or the fire department let anything be done on their property?
Oh,
I mean, thinking of coming into. town.
Yeah,
there's a lot of lawn there. Possibly, especially if you ask for permission, they might allow your.
or we'll just have Abdo do it, just put it up. Just see what happens.
Ask for forgiveness instead of
Exactly.
permission.
Permission.
I didn't.
we are being recorded.
I know. All right. Great, some great ideas there for, promoting future events. We'll follow and we'll ask about some of those.
So what would be the next steps though of exploring?
For the banners and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
I'll just ask
Should I,
Jim, you know, for some of that. You know, because he'll know if people have asked before and or where we should go.
Is there a
Some of it, I mean, some of it is that if it's larger, you need it, or longer, you need a zoning permit, so. I'll just start asking, I'll just do some inquiry.
yeah, I really like this idea that I'm kind of now really stuck on, like on the non-WBA flower months, that
Yeah.
we do something.
Very
I
colorful.
think we would need to have, first, I mean, the concept is great, and then we would need to have an idea of what it is. Cause I don't, and will it be equal opportunity for all other organizations? Because
Hmm,
why would,
Well, what I'm thinking is like, you know, we're championing all the arts nonprofits and for-profit, that's where it gets difficult. Well, what I was gonna say is that maybe we support the arts nonprofits and each one, we help them all design a banner and make sure that they, you know, each one of those, I don't know how many flagpoles we have and how many brackets we have. Does that violate our charter since we also support, for-profit galleries, et cetera?
I don't know. Well, I feel like if we start first with just an event one for our restaurant week, so, you know, an event sponsored
hmm.
by the town.
And I think the whole town benefits from that, the businesses
Exactly.
too, so I
Right.
think they will be easier
And
to
it
sort
benefits
of.
all the art.
Yeah, and then we'll, you know, and then we can see it where, from there. I feel like a one-time versus,
Mhm,
you know, having banners up for the 6 months or
Mhm.
4 months or whatever it is.
mhm.
It would be a good way to start.
And we can, you know, if we get
That's a good.
the restaurant week banner approved, it could be there for a month and a half, right? It could be a real, like, sit there for a while,
Yeah,
just get everyone
we
ready.
could
Well,
do
I
that.
really like this idea though, but like when you think about it, for the 6 months, like it probably wraps up, WBA does it, what, May, June,
I mean,
July,
I would
August,
say by
September.
October
Probably like,
first.
yeah, so like we could have a banner for the Harvest Festival. We could have just a nice innocuous, that could prevail to Holiday in the Depot, which is always starts on Thanksgiving weekend. And then we would have one for Winter Fun, Valentine's Day, I don't know, something. And then we have one starting in March to promote, so it really would be like 3 or 4 banners.
I think what would the selling point, like what would make those fly is those are all townwide.
Right,
So it's not
but
one
we could,
organization.
but we could
over
run
another.
a contest, or we could be the ones sponsoring it, it could be part of our budget. And
Right. I mean, if we're paying for them and we're like sponsoring that, you know, we can say sponsored by the Arts Council, but the event is the top part. But I think that the way that might fly is because they're townwide and it's
that's what I
not.
was thinking.
Yeah, no, so I think that's a good, I think those
We just
three,
get our
you
logo
know,
on there.
Harvest Fest, Holiday in the Depot and Restaurant Week are, you know, those seem,
Those 3,
those three, see, let's just start there. See if we can,
yeah.
see if we can get that.
Just before we take over the whole town.
I know, right,
Banners.
right.
Well, we know that if Abdo's doing it would not be stealth, it would be fabulous.
All right, I think those are great ideas. So I think, so back to bringing the topic though here is
Is
the budget. discussion.
so then
Right.
we have to find out how many. It's not, I mean, I can be responsible for this, like count the flag poles or the light poles and find out how much banners would cost. And-
Well, at this point, they're just projected, yes, so we'll just be putting in an estimate.
Right, and
Yeah.
so if we're adding that to the budget, maybe we're asking for, I don't know, $1,000 more dollars, I don't know. Or maybe we can fit it in, I did, I don't know what the cost of. The banner, is that you were looking up, is that,
Well,
From
it depends
Staples
on
or-
depends on the size, but you can get, you know, a vinyl,
They aren't-
Banner.
They aren't that expensive.
little
No.
vinyl banners is what I was
but we're
thinking.
talking, and those I think I would actually probably do those in cloth. I
Uh-huh.
think those are the what we usually see,
The
right?
one, if we're, help me, is the ones, we're looking at the ones for all of where the flowers would be going.
Right.
Are they the kind that are, like, here's something. and
Yes,
they're
there's a
hanging
bracket,
down,
yeah,
And
yeah,
they're hanging down, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Like they do at.
they're only probably like 18 inches wide and then maybe 2 to 2.5 feet tall.
and then you just like, I'm imagining like zip ties hold them on the brackets and that's it.
Or,
I
they
think
can
that
be
would be
bigger.
very
They could be longer.
They could be longer.
They could
They
be
could be
longer, but
4
the
feet
bracket
long.
is probably only about 18 inches wide. Yeah, you're right. They could be longer. But yeah, I can have those printed at Coward Graphic for not.
I like to have it done that we can use it every year, you know, like
Hmm.
a permanent look.
Yeah. Restaurant week,
that
leading up to that, leading up to
like,
Harvest Festival.
The only
Washington.
challenge is updating the date. I mean, if you do vinyl, then you can stick over it with a
Oh,
bumper sticker, but right?
Of the dates.
I don't think it looks
Doesn't
terrible.
look, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
look all that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and you can't really update the fabric ones.
Girls are
Let's
gonna
just
be
see,
deteriorate
let's,
from
we'll get some
Mhm.
estimates.
Especially since we're doing the bad months of the year.
Well, and
Definitely
before
gonna
we
deteriorate.
figure, you know, like, for example, the sandwich board, the printing on vinyl we had for the sustainability, they were out for a long time for the no idling. And eventually it wears off, like they don't last forever. And they'll be out in weather, like, we'll see. Let's just maybe do a few, and see how it goes, see how long they last, see what the feedback is before we figure out a multi-annual plan.
Yeah,
What's the cost of it, just to consider it for restaurant week, maybe starting from that, and then we'll know what.
Yeah, because Harvest Fest and Holiday in the Depot are gone.
Yep.
But those would be next year, but projected for this year, let's.
Restaurant week and maybe the block party. And then that can be fit into this budget, and I
Well, the block
also.
party, the flowers will be there.
June, yeah,
Yeah,
you know. I don't know if they plant them in May. It's funny because they might be able to be up for a little bit. And then come down when the flowers go up, like in time for the block part, like, you know, but yeah, we'll see. We'll have time. That's a ways away.
Is there something else that happens in town between January and March? Just I'm thinking like we do 4 over 6 months. 4 different banners. That's what I'm thinking. Because it's gonna be weird if holiday we go up for until April.
No, we wouldn't do that.
But then it's weird to put restaurant week up in January. You know, it'd be nice if there was one more
Oh,
thing.
we would just put it up in March. They would be empty. They're empty now.
the town goes to sleep. It does.
Fine, it's fine.
Well, maybe that's an opportunity for somebody else to, maybe they pay the town a rent and give some.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now, great, so do we, wanna, I guess, make a motion to approve requesting the same as last year, and Victoria and I can update the letter? We have to meet with the
yeah, I have to
selectmen.
write her a note, I just can't, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll
They were
figure out
gonna
that
sign
time.
I can't do, but I can do the 2 other ones.
It's almost 6:53, just.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go.
I know. Somebody wanna make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Great, thank you so much. Those motions are to propose that we continue, that there's no change to our budget request for this year.
Yes.
Correct.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Great.
No.
My children also second the motion because they think that's the next step.
Awesome. Okay, great. So let's see. We don't have any update on the cultural district progress at the moment. So
I know what we do.
what?
I'm sorry, just backtrack for 1 minute, a second. From January to March, we do something about Washington and President's Weekend. Like, we can do something like Town Pride, do something about Washington. It goes up in January and stays up.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, Town Pride thing. That'd be cool.
Possibly.
And it could be like celebrating, local people in Washington and every year it changes. That could be really nice.
That could be nice.
It could be good.
and President's Washington visit to the GW.
Right. Or go to the museum.
But I mean, I think it's nice what New Milford does and like that they celebrate their seniors, and this could be something really special of celebrating, it could be notable historical figures or whatever, we could do different themes, I don't know. But that would fill the gap of, the gap bothered me.
Clearly.
Is there a calendar for all the events happening in 2025?
So we haven't started working on the summer postcard yet, but I have been encouraging everybody to get their events on the events
We-
calendar, and there's some already. Library's on,
We should get busy on that.
yeah, Yeah, with the big ones.
Yeah. So that's,
Who else is on there?
Well,
Library's on.
I always found out.
Judy Black is really organized, a lot of
Judy
people
Black
have
is on,
posted,
Judy
yeah.
Black, I then sent an email. Flavolous is still, you guys, I didn't
We-
hear from you guys.
So, well, oh, sorry, we didn't write back, but we are on there. And I have to tell you, Michelle, we put in our request in October. And I think we were up there and then we weren't. But then I can't quite remember if I actually checked, but I think I did. I think it was during an Arts Council meeting, during a conversation like this. And I
Okay.
texted and I checked and we were up and then we were not. So something happened there. I have no idea what, but you
So
are
you're
correct.
back on.
We are back on there. And we're
Good.
the day after the block party. So that should be super exciting of a weekend.
Wow, okay, so you guys
Yeah.
are early, June.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Nice. And I heard back from ASAP who was not on there yet, but had their date and said they were gonna submit it. They
Yeah.
didn't tell me what it was. So Shakespeareans is happening. Is it on there?
I'm sure.
I don't remember seeing it because I was looking for kind of like some of the big things that I usually see and I emailed and said, hey, get your save the dates in there.
We're not on there yet.
You know, well, Victoria, you're on this email too, right?
Exchange, yeah.
Yes, yes,
So,
what?
Laura Neminsky does often start an email chain. That's why I knew that we were originally up there. So Greenwoods, Steep Rock.
Yeah,
Are
that
they
was
up
the other, Greenwoods was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Steam Rock is having their big centennial this year, right? So.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know what? That was the other thing we were gonna do was an art, something with Steep Rock.
Yeah.
For their
a
anniversary.
photography Exhibit.
Yeah, which is, it's this year, 2025?
Yeah.
So that could be either this budget year or next budget year, but that's
Mhm.
another,
Uh-huh.
uh,
I thought it was really good when we did it
Pardon?
around the fall, was it the same as Fall Festival
It was-
weekend?
Yes.
I think
it
so.
was.
It was
That
up
was
for
good.
like a week and yeah, I
But it
think it
kicked
either
off.
opened
I
or
remember you got
closed.
all these pumpkins and gourds, yes, I think it was the same weekend.
Okay,
How about an exhibition of photographs of Steep Rock?
yeah,
From
we
several
had
people.
talked about doing that.
Yeah,
And maybe we should do that again. too.
Yes.
I mean, right, because we
Like-
talked to Steep Rock, I like
yeah, it's a
a
celebration.
partnership between the Arts Council and Steep Rock, and it could be Steep Rock through the seasons, or it could be some other theme. I don't know, but you know, we could produce it like we did the last one. We got a lot of great feedback from that. So, we just have to figure out when in the year we wanna do
I think
that.
October's good.
I like that too.
Okay, I agree. Okay,
We're gonna find
Uh,
out from
so-
them when it works for them, but, cause we want their help promoting it.
okay.
And if,
What were we talking about? You brought us back to the banner.
do it
Cultural district.
Cultural district, snooze.
Yeah, I know. This, we'll get back to it. It comes up every now and then in conversation and we just.
It's gonna happen this year. It's gonna happen this year. In this first quarter, it's the best time. It's a sleepy time. It's the best time.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen the rest of the year.
I'm happy to participate on a Tuesday or a Thursday during the work hours
Great.
to make that, move that forward.
That's awesome. If one of you send an email, if
Yes.
we just put it on my calendar, we'll do a
Yes.
little work session
Yes.
and start checking more boxes and
Yeah, yeah,
figuring out where
Put it in my
our
tasks.
questions are. That would be wonderful. I did want to just bring up Restaurant Week. I had one thing that I wanted to mention, and Fran, I'm glad you're here, and I'll be talking to the EDC, but I had a meeting with Autumn, whose last name I'm forgetting, who is a young woman who's running Gilmore Girls Fest. It is the closing week of Restaurant Week, which is awesome because
Yeah,
it's a slow time for us.
yeah.
And it is gonna be mostly in New Milford. And she has a large venue, but she wants to run buses up here and, you know, let people, she was talking about like a little passport where people go to the different shops and locations and, we were just kind of brainstorming a lot of ideas, but I just wanted everyone to know that that is happening the closing weekend of Restaurant Week. So it's another opportunity to really promote Restaurant Week, to make sure the restaurants know that they can cater to this fandom. She opened up her ticket sales on yesterday, 800 tickets and sold out in 2 hours.
I need to talk to her too, because we have, an author of a book about the Gilmore Girls who is available that weekend.
And that weekend
Fabulous.
is, we have
I already
a
just
meeting.
blocked off town hall for just whatever. I think that this format and model is something that will work really well for Washington. I told her when she originally called that the first one was a little overwhelming. It was kind of big. We're not set up for that. And she really wants to make it so that the fans get up here, but maybe in smaller doses, smaller events, coming through, walking around town, having whether a book sign, big enough. I told her, I was like, I can't put 800 people anywhere, but having 50 people at a time doing an author talk or some other little
How many
event.
people does a town hall hold?
So we looked at the fire code, it's like 127 seated and 2 something standing. So it's not that, it's a lot, but
Okay,
yeah.
so for the event last year what was that? It was
The band.
Yeah, the band.
Laura,
Only 200-ish?
Yeah, or less.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was just wondering, because, I'm a big fan of, and I've actually been in touch with, Grantley Phillips, who plays the
the
troubadour
troubadour, oh my
on the
gosh,
show.
yeah.
And so,
You had mentioned that.
yeah, and so it would be about $5,000 to have him here. And I'm just saying that, they might cover their nut on that if they got 800 people buying.
So
I don't know.
that part, I don't know.
Pretty cool.
But one thing that I really liked about when I was talking to Autumn is she does not want the town to have to outlay any kind of money, right? So she wants it
for profit.
It's, she's like, I'm selling tickets, I need to cover the cost of whatever it is. Then they're renting the CSA, the sports thing down in New Milford, so they have a space where they can all fit. But they're gonna have excursions
What
and
is it?
outings. I think it's the CSA, Connecticut Sports Arena, I don't know.
Oh,
What, my girls used to play indoor soccer down there, but
Oh, okay.
apparently there's a big space somewhere in there. So we can talk more about it, but I just wanted you all to know. Simon, I'm sad you won't still be here, but they are doing a living art event, because that's a thing from the show where they did paintings without the person, and then the people would dress up and pose in front of the backdrop. So like a frame with the background of the Mona Lisa, and you dress up as the Mona Lisa and you pose. And that was a thing in the show. And so they're gonna do that. But I was like, what if our art association had one of these backdrops in front of them so that people could just do it here and then go in? And she said, oh, that's great. I love any tie-in. So she's very open. She's not trying to hold on to everything.
How much are the tickets?
I went online and they were already all sold out except for some of the actor photo ops. So and those were like $85 to pose with them and do something. or
Where
other.
are they all staying?
I don't know.
There are no hotels, there's no
So
hotels.
the Heritage Inn in New Milford apparently was sold out before her tickets even went on sale.
But the Heritage Inn isn't really a hotel.
Was it, or is it the other one? There's like one
The
little
Homestead.
By the hospital.
Homestead,
The
sorry, yes.
Homesteader.
Homestead,
Yeah, okay. The Heritage Inn is a halfway house. It
Yeah,
is
that's
not.
right.
an
It used to be an inn, it's not anymore. Sorry,
Right,
I got the
it
wrong one.
was.
It begins with an A.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
there are
there-
no hotel,
There aren't. Well, that's why Washington is a tricky place to do this, but I love that, they're gonna have free time in the afternoon. She's gonna run buses back and forth. It's like, oh, great, from 1 to 3, plenty of time to walk the
Well-
depot, do the passport.
Because we have a reading scheduled, Judy Black, I would love to know when that's gonna happen, because a big bus coming through with a bunch of people rolling off while we're in the middle of a meeting would be kind of a bummer.
Yeah, no, well, that,
So-
I knew that that was on the calendar,
so,
so
yeah.
I think we should
So we
either
need to
schedule
know-
around it or
Well-
make sure that tickets are sold to it, like, does it usually sell out?
It's free and people have to make a reservation, but
Okay,
it's pretty easy to get distracted.
Right,
Well,
glass doors. and-
indoor,
Yeah.
is that indoor, outdoor, doors
It's
open?
indoor, we don't have doors open
It's April.
expected in April.
Yeah.
We didn't have for the October one, we won't have it for February, sure, but I just would like to know when that is, because that might be too many things going on.
I think
For
if
the
we
local
know,
traffic to wanna come to our reading, if it's in the afternoon, when there's also busloads of Gilmore Girls fans.
But they're a bus, not
Which I'm
cars,
excited
not
about.
cars.
I just gotta figure
Yeah,
out, I just gotta get the right time for it.
yeah, well, I think you should set your time and we'll schedule around it. Cause they're gonna be here for a whole weekend. Pick your time.
Okay,
About 15 years ago, a delegation came to the Mayflower when I was there.
yeah,
And they asked me, oh, we are a delegation from the Gilmore Girls. And I said, Gilmore what? I've never heard of,
oh my gosh.
never seen it. No.
Yeah.
Why is this such a big deal?
Takes place here supposedly.
It was originated from the Mayflower.
Originally.
Yes, I know.
It's a big deal because it's a show that had 7 seasons and then it's on repeat and it's
Streaming.
funny and cute and there are a lot of fans
Yeah,
of this show.
It's low
Yes,
stress.
yes.
I mean, I
It's
can tell you, I've only been open for a month and I've already
Okay, they're not
met
buying no piano.
and had, a dozen
Yeah,
families,
I
mother,
know.
daughters, a lot of, coming
know.
into my place.
I had 2 standing in the freezing cold outside of town hall this week from New Jersey on a Tuesday.
We,
I was trying to remember what was open.
we have fans every day.
Yeah,
I mean, we have some, that- I
I
mean,
bet.
most days multiple, but
Yeah.
at least some.
I know. It's-
And they take pictures outside the store and,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah, no.
Autumn is with who, what?
So I did not bring my notes on all of this. She works with a company that does this. They did One Tree Hill down on the coast. They're in Orlando in 2 weeks doing, I don't know, she's done vampire show, a lot of the shows that have like
Yeah,
multiple seasons and fan followings. And all over the country,
Okay.
they do these, so.
right,
Yeah, I'll bring more information. I just met with her 2 hours ago. So my brain is kind of spinning. Yeah, so, and we need to start reaching out to make sure all of our galleries know that this is happening and.
Restaurant.
Yeah,
Karen,
what did we, can I ask? What's after, all of these great notes that we took about that conversation, where are we on who's gonna be doing the organizing of it?
I don't know, has the WBA met?
No, not yet, but, I mean, did you talk any further with Julia? I mean,
I saw her,
no, we talked to her.
yeah.
Day of the.
And I told her that I think I told her that the WBA was gonna ask her, but
Oh, no.
was I
thought-
supposed to?
I thought you were gonna pursue it.
Oh,
I mean,
thought
and you
guys
and Lisa
were.
and I were supposed to have a meeting that hasn't occurred, so maybe that should happen pretty quickly.
Okay, I thought you had told me that Lisa had already asked her about it.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
okay,
And
I
the,
think Liz inquired. But
Okay.
it wasn't a direct ask.
okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's all a little very loose, so it has to
Gotcha.
be tightened up.
Yes. Okay,
But she did seem to say, I mean, I talked to her briefly at Holiday in the Depot, and she did seem to say then that she thought they could handle it,
Julia did.
Julia.
Okay, so we should set up a meeting with her, I think. And soon. like,
Right.
in the
Would
next
this be
week
a
or so.
WBA, Washington Arts Council combined meeting with, Explore Washington folks?
I think we maybe should just have, kind of a quick meeting without everybody first, like scope. So they can kind of think about it, right? And I'll just let you all know that the EDC did not vote on it because we didn't have a quorum. So,
We should include that $800.
yes,
On the.
yeah. Yep, all
It's gonna
of
certainly
the.
be, yeah, I'm not qualified.
Mhm. I wrote that down somewhere, but
Do we
Yes.
need to secure, I'm just asking because I can't remember. If it's me to decide, because we probably need to secure the firm or the guy that did it last time, right? If it's not gonna be Explore Washington. And if it's gonna be Explore Washington, they probably need enough lead out time to do
yeah,
all the
no,
work.
we have to make this decision.
He's expecting right now. I mean,
Yeah, he.
Yeah.
We booked the day, like,
he staggers the other ones he does around, you know, just likes to focus one at a time.
Yeah,
So I'm not guilt tripping us to do anything we don't wanna do, I'm just saying it's courteous and appropriate to get
As
back to
soon
it
as
as possible.
yeah.
yeah, no, I agree.
And I agree, but I also fell into that, we're like, oh, wait, it's January, that means everything in February and after has to get done. It seemed like it came upon us very quickly because of the holidays, so.
Yeah,
We're
I know,
all
and
not
we were
saying-
sort of on top of it, and then all of a sudden we were not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, and I misunderstood, I thought I was waiting for the WBA, so I'll, first thing next week, schedule that meeting. With Julia, we'll do a Zoom or something, Fran. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's all.
We should wrap up.
Yeah, unless anybody else has,
So I want a few minutes with Simon.
Right.
any other sharing of events or public comment?
We have a faculty show on 18th of January, 5 to 8. So please join us if you can.
Oh, we're
What
gonna be
day
in
of the
New
week
York.
is that, Saturday or something?
Saturday,
Perfect.
We'll be in New York
Yeah.
City.
What is the time?
5 to 8.
5 to 8.
What are you seeing?
Our town.
Oh, nice.
Did you see it?
It's so
It's our
wonderful.
Christmas gift from Ken.
Oh.
We're going, yeah.
I'm
Old
going,
chestnut of a play.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I would say.
Never.
Gonna get old chestnut.
It does.
It was so
I'm going to
special.
see Momix that night. I'm
Oh.
excited. The Alice in Wonderland looks really cool.
Yeah, it does look good.
I wanna buy tickets to the
I
matinee
got-
the next day.
Yeah, I got
Buy
tickets
them because
at an
I
auction,
just
some
bought
charity,
some
something, I forget what
like
the
that.
event I
Oh,
was
wow,
at,
okay.
but. Yeah, lots of stuff. Anything else?
We have a reading, February 1st and 2nd at Judy Black, presentation with Judy Black. But we are on hold on the title because we just got some new information today that Sharon Playhouse may have chosen the same
Oh,
title for a reading also.
at the
in
same time?
February.
Oh,
February,
bad
yeah.
luck.
February, but we.
Why does it matter?
Just the individuals involved, it may matter,
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
shame.
so
Tweak it a little.
to be announced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saturday,
so-
Sunday,
It'll
February.
be a
1st
Saturday and Sunday, we have the dates,
The same show-
something's
the
gonna
same
be
show both
happening,
days.
we just don't know what
Yeah.
it is right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like an
so-
afternoon kind of thing?
There's
Five, two, five.
Saturday, 6, Sunday,
2 or 3.
2 or 3, sorry, I don't have it in front of me, but yeah.
So an
Great.
evening and an afternoon. Cool.
But with a
Something like
Saturday
that.
at 6, so that people can go to the restaurants afterwards. That seemed to work really, really well. And when we actually went somewhere afterwards, there were people that were at the reading, so it's, again, trying to help infuse into downtown, into our area restaurants.
Is it at 6,
Great.
not 5?
I think 6.
Anyway,
Yeah, great.
And,
And good luck with the title.
Thank you.
yeah.
It's a perfect title, thus Sharon Playhouse also chose it. So-
Are they doing a reading of the same thing?
In mid-February, yeah,
Yeah,
like the day after Valentine's.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
So, we found out today because I reached out to somebody to say, hey, would you be interested in being
An
part of
actor?
this reading? They're like, I'm actually part of that reading. Sharon play out
We're
the
like,
same exact play 2 weeks later. I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, we have a nice relationship with people at the Playhouse, and so we wanna
You wanna just.
be respectful of everything and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
So,
How
But it's odd though, if we publicized
There
it
was
today,
like-
it would have been like, oh
After,
no.
after the official meeting and when we determine it, it'll make sense why.
Okay.
It was chosen by us all.
So for me, between now and I guess our next meeting, a little bit of a breather at the Ideas Depot, gonna probably do something around wellness, New Year's resolution, something either the last weekend of January or the first weekend of February. Now, I'm glad to know about your reading, so work around that. And then I'm thinking like for the month of February, different types of love. I'm talking to, Depot Dog, we might do a dog adoption thing, like puppy love one week, maybe town love another week. Poetry and love poems, love songs, I don't know, so,
Love it.
I mean, building plans are flying, as you guys know, but, there's that, and then I'm thinking of continuing the Holiday in the Depot, kickoff went really well, and people really liked having these different vendors, and one of the reasons why I opened this place was to enliven street life, so if you guys know of artists, I know the Art Association has many wonderful artists who want to do their own thing. I'm actually been interviewing different people who want to run just the walls of my space as a gallery. One thing I've learned is that I'm the curator, I'm the event producer. I'm providing an opportunity for people to interact with the public. I'm not that person necessarily, other than the events I produce. So if you know somebody who's like dying to run their own little gallery, and also I am looking for, and I'm in conversations with furniture, be a furniture showroom to have the co-working space be cool. So if you know people who are making furniture, I'm talking to a few people about that. So those are things I'm.
Awesome. Great. Good stuff.
Would
Happening.
you be interested in having some Cuban painters?
If you're, the only thing is like, whoever's doing the gallery is running the gallery. I'm not running the gallery, like, it's gonna be like, the walls are for rent, like, they're gonna be paying a rent
Okay,
to run
okay.
the gallery.
Okay,
And be the person who's enthusiastic and well-versed, and that's what the experience I wanna provide to people, like, they're meeting cool, different people, and and the art is at a high caliber, so.
Good.
sounds good.
Sounds
It's
good.
gonna be
The
cool,
more the merrier.
it's gonna be very cool.
All right. Are we good? Are we ready
Yes.
to adjourn?
Let's stop recording.
7:17. Awesome.
Bye.
We're gonna.
Bye.